I think the most memorable thing for me that I learned about design processing came from the interview we had with the architecture studio Park Associati. And something that he actually said in the interview is that, when they're working in a team, the best ideas that they have are the ones that that they can't remember who came up with it in the first place, which I actually thought was really neat because I never thought about that before. And when I work in teams, there's actually a lot of pride associated with the things that I come up with, and I kind of want to be credited for it. But I like that way of thinking because it really inspires this humility and openness, I think, within a team. And just that loss of ownership of ideas, I think, is really fluid. And so that's actually something I try to strive for now in my processes. I think the thing I kind of took away from the cities we visited was that, well, I appreciated the fact that in every city we went to, we had the time to explore them on our own. And we were kind of encouraged to, find the places that the usual visitors wouldn't really find, or, go out during the hours that most of the city was sleeping or things like that. So I was able to see these places that were they're like these quiet niches of the city that are kind of hidden in plain view because you don't notice them right away, but if you're looking for them, they're there in every city, right? So I think what I liked about that is that when I came back home to Vancouver, I was actually seeing my own home in a new way. And even right now I find myself moving and understanding the city in a different way. So it just reminded me of that whole, how people say an ending is just like a beginning, right? So once the field study ended, I was able to come back home and just see, the place that I've been living in for 21 years in a new way. When I was reflecting on it, I realized that my favorite moment in an interview was actually not within the interview itself, but after we had our conversation with Denese's Carlotta de Bevilacqua. She took us outside, into the backyard of her studio, and she was playing with that handicapped dog that she just saved and adopted from another country. And what had the biggest impact on me was just, I was finally seeing her not just as a designer, but as a whole person who had all these values and cares that were really important to her. And I guess it was just inspiring to see that living example, or to know that it's possible to be a successful designer without sacrificing the ideals that are important to you or the people that you love. When I took my ukulele up to the Piazzale Michelangelo in Florence, and I went up there to watch the sunrise, so it was like 5 in the morning or something like that, but it was really peaceful and, just looking out at the city. And then there were some people coming up to the Piazzale at that time too and saying, it was pretty incredible to see it for the first time, but to be hearing this music as well. It just reminded me of, since I had my ukulele during Florence, it reminded me of this other moment that meant a lot to me, but that was actually with the rest of the group, and I think it was our last night in Florence, when, we just had dinner, and then afterwards we all were just walking our way slowly back home, and I was playing stuff on it, and we just stopped in the middle of the Ponte Vecchio, I think, and just kind of chilled there for a while. And if people didn't even know the song that I was playing, they were still really getting into it and just dancing along and stuff. And it was just pretty amazing, I guess, that it just felt like it was just us there, uninterrupted by the rest of the world. And I was able to say goodbye to the city that night, I guess.